Hello there, this is Welsh ASMR 82. Hey, how you doing? So this is an ASMR video meant to help you relax after a tough week and get you ready for the next one, or maybe even just help you fall asleep. Or maybe you just like listening to what I have to say about the football news, in which case, whichever one, you're welcome. Thank you for watching the video. And today we're going to very excitedly, or very calmly, talk about something very exciting, which is the Champions League draw for the quarterfinals. And I've got my opinions on this, you've got your opinion, so you're going to share yours in the comment section. And while you're down there, you're probably going to click like on this video as well, which is going to be amazing, thank you. And I'm going to give you my insight on how I see this panning out, and a little prediction on some outcomes, results, etc. And then we're going to look at the Europa League and the Conference League as well. So if you're ready, let's get going. Okay, so first and foremost, my thoughts of the draw is that this side of the draw, let's call it the left for the purpose of this video, is way harder, because in my mind, my favourites to win the competition were Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Man City and Napoli, in that order. So I thought Bayern has the best chance, followed by Real, followed by Man City and Napoli. I think before the draw, the bookies have changed to say that Man City is their choice, particularly after Haaland's, how should we put it, playing with everyone like they're a toy. Unbelievable performance in the last round. Okay, so what does that tell us? Well, that tells us that if I were a Napoli fan, which I kind of am becoming, then I'm pretty pleased. I watched Milan play against Spurs and I watched Inter play against Porto, and in neither case was I overwhelmed by them as an outfit, either of them. I feel that they both deserve to be here, but in terms of actually winning the competition, can either of them beat Real Madrid? No. Bayern Munich? No. Man City? No. Napoli? I don't think so. I think, off the top of my head, Inter has beaten them once this season, or was it Milan? I think it was Inter, but one of these two clubs has beaten them. But of course, you've got to do it over two legs now. And only, I think they've only lost 4 times, once in the Cup, once to Liverpool in a match that didn't matter because they had already finished top, and they played their like second string at Anfield, and then Lazio at home, which was a bit of a shocker, and one of these two teams, I think, off the top of my head. Those are the only losses they've had all season, so they are the informed team in Europe. So I'm telling you now, I want Napoli to win this, and if Napoli don't, I would love Benfica to win it. So that's just my personal preference. Whether Benfica can do it, I don't know, but they will be really pleased with this draw. They would have wanted either Chelsea fans, Inter or Milan, as they were the easiest options, and the fact that they would only have to face either Napoli or Milan if they can get past Inter to get into the final. They are probably licking their lips. One of my friends is he's Portuguese, is a massive Benfica fan. He went out to Belgium to watch the match against Club Brugge as well. He was in the stadium. Yeah, I've spoken to him today, he's very, very happy. Because if you're a Man City fan, if you're a Chelsea fan, then to get to the final you've got to beat the current champions and the team with the most wins in this competition in history. And then if they can do that, they've got to go against either the favourites or Bayern, who just are amazing. So if I were a Chelsea fan, on the other hand, I'd be feeling the contrast. I mean, it's not undoable. Chelsea have done it fairly recently, actually, haven't they? Against all the odds. But it is against all the odds. I'm not saying they can't do it, but are they likely to do it? No. It's going to be an uphill struggle. We saw Real, they dominated Liverpool apart from the first half. in Anfield, and then they just sort of, oh, actually, maybe even the end of the first half, so maybe it's about 30 minutes Liverpool were in it over 2 legs. So, yeah, I would say they're still in the running as one of the favourites for the competition. Okay, so I'm going to put well, I'll probably do, yes, okay, I think I'll skip to the other website and do my predictions then, shall I? Do you know what? No, I'm going to do that closer to the day because I might change my mind. It's a bit early there in the 12th of April, so there's actually nearly a month away. So I'm going to initially at this point say Real Madrid to win. Sorry, I know there's loads of Chelsea fans watching this. You've got a chance, but I'm going with most likely Real Madrid to win. That's really even, isn't it, that one? For experience, I'm going to say Bayern. I think Man City have got an excellent team. Haaland's in brilliant form. The manager is obviously a mastermind. But they're not used to being at this level, are they? Whereas Bayern, this is like bread and butter for them. Semi-final of quarter-final of a Champions League has been there, done that. So I'm going to have to go with them. And their bench is so strong. Goodness me. Watching them against Paris Saint-Germain, they were like, oh, should we bring on, I don't know, Sadio Mane or Sané, or maybe it was just, the list was endless of the talent they've got on the bench. One of the strongest squads left in the competition. I'm going to say Napoli for the win here, and I'm going to say Benfica for the win there. But again, I would not be shocked if we ended up with a Milan derby in the semi-final. What a match. The home and the away match, both at the San Siro. How many times has that happened? That is amazing. So for that alone, I'd be kind of happy, but I would love Napoli to win. And as a total sort of, I don't want to say underdog, because Benfica are a very big team with massive honours. But in today's day and age, they don't have the spending power of some of these other clubs. I think Man City, Real, Chelsea, you know, they're funded, even Inter previously, they haven't got very much money at the moment, but yeah, it would be great when, you know, Portuguese clubs tend to be selling clubs, don't they? They have these superstars and they just move them on to keep afloat. So it would be absolutely wonderful, and it's brilliant for Portuguese football. I really wanted a Belgian team to make it this far, but wasn't to be. But yeah, I like to see some of the other nations doing well. I think it's really good for the competition as a whole. Okay, and just like that, we have skipped to the Europa League. So the Europa League was drawn as well. Let's take a look at this. So my favourites for this competition now have to be Man United, as they have been all along, Juve and Roma. I watched Roma's match the other day. It was messy, it was scrappy, it was Jose Mourinho stamped. They did not budge. Away to Real Sociedad under pressure. They had no intention of scoring, they just needed to keep the 2-0, and they did so, and they, you know, that is the sign of a team that can win a competition. You win ugly, you win dirty, you waste time with goal kicks, you argue with the referee. It wasn't pretty in any way, shape or form, but it was efficient and it got them into the quarterfinals. Can it get them all the way? They are the current champions of the conference title, of course, their inauguration. Can he get 2 in a row and be in the Champions League next year as a result? He can, is the answer to that question. Will he? Let's find out. Feyenoord are in sensational form. Look at that result. I mean, I feel so sorry for Shakhtar Donetsk, bless them. The last standing Ukrainian team in European competition this year, but hammered in Belgium, excuse me, in the Netherlands, 8-2 overall over 2 legs. So yeah, they are pretty tough opposition, and Roma will have to do really well to get past them. I think they can, but you know, Feyenoord, top of the Eredivisie in the Netherlands, I think they've got a 45% chance of getting through. Okay, so Leverkusen and Gillois. I'm so pleased for Union Saint-Gillois, the last standing Belgian team in the Europa League, but we'll talk about the Conference League in a little bit. Leverkusen, who have improved so much since Xabi Alonso took over. They did really well to dispatch Ferenc Barros. I didn't think they would be that clear winners in that tie. So I think Leverkusen go in with their European pedigree as favourites, but Gillois have proven everyone wrong so far. So heck, why not? Why can't they make it to a semi-final in like their first attempt of European football? What a story that would be! What a fairy tale! I'd love, personally, the way I said, I'd love Napoli or Benfica to do it in the Champions League. I would love for Union Saint-Gilloise to win this whole thing. Whether they will is probably unlikely, but you know, they've made it this far, so who knows? It's cup football after all. Juve, Sporting. Now I probably would have said Juve previously, but Sporting just did so well against Arsenal. They just did not give up. They would have lost that match if the away goal rules were still in place, but then, you know, maybe they would have pushed towards the end for an extra goal if they knew they were going not to penalties but instead going out. So who's to say they wouldn't have tried to go for another goal? But Arsenal were all over them. Arsenal were the better team on the night, absolutely yes, but Sporting were clever and they managed to get the goal to equalise, and then they were a bit scrappy and a bit tough in the tackle, had someone sent off, and then they went through perfect penalties, 5 out of 5. You know, who's to say they can't do the same against Juve? So Juve are favourites, but for me, Sporting are going to be really difficult, to be honest. Really difficult. I've said at the beginning of doing these videos this season, a Portuguese team is going to go really far in one of the competitions because they're all doing really well. Porto are out. We've got 2 quarter-finalists. It'll be so interesting to see how far a Portuguese team can go this year. And then lastly, Man United against Sevilla. So they've just been to Seville, and now they're going to have to go back again. So Manchester United looked confident over the 2 legs. There was a shaky moment, though. So they're not, I keep saying about this Man United side, they're really good, but they're not the finished article. Sevilla, on the other hand, I don't think they're the team to test them. I think if we get to a semi-final and it's Juve, then we're going to see Man United tested fully. But at the moment, I still maintain that they have the best squad. Maybe, yes, I think so. The best squad and probably the best manager as well, actually. Well, Jose would not like me saying that, would he? Yeah, so I'm saying Juve, Man United in the semi-final, Roma and Leverkusen in this one, but I would love to see Saint-Gilloise and Sporting get through. That would be fantastic. Okay, Conference League time. Okay, so now we're in the Conference League, and we have got Lech Poznan, who've done really well to get this far. Have they ever been to a quarterfinals of a competition before? In Europe? Fiorentina, so the last Italian side in this competition, and Nice, Bâle, Gent, West Ham, Anderlecht, AZ Alkmaar. So for me, the favourites in this competition are Nice and West Ham. I think Fiorentina could win this match, but I do not want to ignore the fact that Lech Poznan have been not conceded any goals in the knockout round as of yet. I watched Bordeaux Glimt in the group stages against Arsenal, and they were impressive. Djurgården finished top of their group. However, maybe it's a bit unfair because Norway was on a season break at the time. Sweden has only just come back from their end of season, and they're starting a new season. So could it be argued that the two sides they've had have not been match fit? Maybe. I don't think you should underestimate them. So I'm going to say Fiorentina, but I would not be shocked at all if Lech managed to be a Polish side in a semi-final, and that would be awesome. Bâle against Nice. Bâle have got so much experience of European competitions, you cannot count them out, and they've already gone through Trabzonspor and an impressive Slovan Bratislava team. However, I watched tons of Nice this season due to Aaron Ramsey being there, and they are a really good team under this new manager. For me, they are the favourites to win the competition at this point. Players like Thuram and Ramsey in the midfield, and they've got some attacking talent going forward. They've got a really good defence, and they've got Schmeichel in goal. So for me, I think they don't really have any weaknesses across the pitch, and they are fighting on two fronts. They're trying to get into Europe via the league table, catching up after being bottom of the bottom, sort of just under 11th-ish, 10th, 11th, most of the season before the new manager came in. And he is on such a roll, I'm not sure when the bubble is going to burst. So they haven't lost a single match since he took over at the new year. So yeah, they're my favourites to win this. Ghent against West Ham. So I hinted earlier on that Union Saint-Gilloise was the last Belgian side in the Europa League, but there are actually two in the Conference League, and this is the beauty of the Conference League, and this is why I think I really, really agree with it, and I find it an exciting competition, because we finally got teams in a quarter-final from Poland, Belgium, the Netherlands. I mean, okay, the Netherlands, we usually get Ajax in a quarter semi-final and the champions, but, you know, we've got a Swiss team there. So yeah, that's kind of why I'm really interested in this competition, because it's going to be one in the future where I think maybe a Welsh team could actually qualify for the group stages, and I think it'll end up being won by the sort of, let's call them second tier, with all due respect, second tier teams. I mean, Roma is their first ever European competition win, so when they won it last year, so although we may consider, because they're from Italy, they are a big team, it was a big moment for them, you know, it's a massive thing in the club's history. So the fact that, you know, we've got Belgian teams in here, Swiss teams, Polish teams, teams that don't normally win cups, it would just be a massive moment for them, and it's an achievable goal. If I were running a club that wasn't, you know, a Champions League club, I would be busting a gut to get into this competition, because you generally feel like you could win some serious trophies being in this competition, and then it allows you to qualify through winning it for the Europa League the next year, regardless of your league position. So yeah, I think it's a wonderful competition. I'm really excited to see how it pans out over the next couple of years. So West Ham are the favourites for this competition, but Ghent have gone through Istanbul, Başakşehir, which is a good team, and Karabakh, so lots of travelling for them. They've been to Azerbaijan and Turkey, so a little bit closer, going to London, flying over from Belgium. They're a good team, and I don't think West Ham have necessarily been tested. They qualified top of their group, and then they only had to beat AEK. They did that quite easily, so this is going to be a much stronger competition for them. And then this one, Anderlecht against AZ. I think AZ are more in form than Anderlecht, but look at that. Who beats Villarreal in Spain? That is a sensational result. So AZ, but then AZ beat Lazio. You know, they're a massive team. They would have had their eyes, particularly because Roma won this competition last year. Lazio would have desperately wanted to be in the quarter-final. But yeah, AZ Alkmaar, really good team, and they got a fantastic result. So this is really 50-50 for me. I think maybe I'm going to say like 51% AZ to win, but Anderlecht have a really good chance. So what did I say? West Ham, AZ, Fiorentina and Nice in the quarterfinals, in the semi-finals, excuse me. So I'd love a like on this video. It would really, really help to push it to a wider audience of people who seem to love the combination of football or soccer if you're from the States and ASMR. So please do that for me, and then drop me a comment and tell me who you think at this point in time. You can either say who you think is going to win these matches, or you can tell me who you feel at this moment in time is most likely to be the champion of each of the 3 European competitions, or both. And I'd love to hear from you and get your reactions. Okay, thanks so much for watching this video. As ever, you are amazing. Thank you for all your just lovely comments. And I'll see you soon. Okay, video coming up very soon on the European qualifiers. So check that out in a couple of days. Okay, night.